Welcome back, fellow stacker. Silver Gold Man here with another edition of Silver Gold and much more. Today's date is Sunday, May 17, 2015. If you haven't seen this video, it's up on the screen right now. I highly recommend you go watch it so you can understand where I'm coming at and what's going on, okay? It's up on the screen right now. Go check it out. So, Silver Futures obviously has seen this video. It was uploaded 22 hours ago, as you can see on the screen, and he's already come out with a reply. And no, not to me. This is one of the things I said. They will, the circle jerk stays within the jerks, what can I say? So he's part of it, there's no doubt about it. In this latest video, it's kind of neat though, because he talks about that JP Morgan is not buying up all the silver. However, he does give a heads up to silver. You know, he does say it's a good time to go buy it, and his premise is, well, if there's a system crash, which is what he thinks it is, as you may have heard me, I've even said that there's a good, very good possibility here. We will see a crash at the end of summer, okay? Very good possibility. And I've been saying that since, I believe it was October or November 2014 when I started talking about this. This was in my cards, what I could see was going on. So, but he goes on to say, with the system crash, you will have to buy silver because all the drug dealers will run out of $100 bills because we're going on an electronic system, and therefore silver will go wild, and so will gold, because the drug dealers will have to do their drug dealing in physical gold and silver. Okay, so I'm not part of that paradigm, and if you're going to buy that bullshit, well, you're probably not going to want to listen to what I have to say, okay? I'm more of a straight shooter. But let's hear what he has to say regarding these people that are pumping this whole JP Morgan story. Listen to this.
And see all these videos saying that JP Morgan's buying all this silver, and it's like, no, you're listening to idiots. These are idiots, morons, who are telling absolute lies that are complete fabrication. And most of them know that they're telling lies, but they don't care, because whatever their business model is, this is good for their business model. So they're just telling flat out lies, right? Okay.
And that's correct, right? It is about cash. This is one of the big things. It is about your money. Okay? And if you're going to watch this video and pay attention to what I put out, you're going to understand how it's about the circle jerk, how they lay blame this time on him, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. They all tie in together, and that's the objective of these videos. Okay? So for you to get an insight what's going on. So as far as the silver, let me touch on that for a second. So here's the graph here going back, 2014 right here. And I was saying we're going to see lower prices, and I don't care if it's popped up a little bit. Personally, I would not buy. I believe we'll see a lower price here. I'm not saying we won't go any higher. There's definitely a possibility, but we're not off to the races, that's for sure. Now, as far as the JP Morgan thing, now who's been saying this BS? And, you know, it doesn't take too long. If you watch my video from yesterday, one of the guys I talked about was Realist News owner, or actually not owner, I think he just runs a site for a bullion dealer, actually, JSnip4. Okay, so YouTuber JSnip4, who runs a site, Realist News, and runs freespeak.net, which by the way is not free. They track everything that you say. As soon as you become a member there, you've given the right to JM Bullion, who owns freespeak.net, to track everything that you share. Okay, everything you share, you can't take it back on that freespeak.net. So there's no freespeak. And Realist News is covered with JBM Bullion sales banners, and that's why he recommends them. Okay, so there's no doubt about it. This is connected to sales. People that watch him, they can figure out, you know, why would Lindsay Williams bother to call up this little nobody when I'm the guy that predicted the September 2008 stock market crash 6 months before the exact date? I call the rise in silver, I've called the rise in gold, I've called the lows in silver for what, the last 4 years in a row, or 3 years? It's unprecedented, the bullshit here on YouTube, and they all interconnect, and this is important that you pay attention to this, because right down to SGT, it used to be SGT Bull 07, is now SGT report.com. It's the same thing with him, you know. Again, Morgan is acquiring millions of silver, and this is why he's always interviewing different people from the mining sectors, because it's about promoting their product, and he's their mouthpiece for it, you know, right down to David Morgan, whose last name is not even Morgan. Why don't you ask him what his real last name is? He changed it, remember? That's why I believe that's why they killed off Bob Chapman. He's outspoken. Bob Chapman knows these people and was even calling out David Morgan years ago before he was killed. And, you know, poor Bob, he didn't know about Alex Jones and the rest of these people being corrupt, but we sure as hell can see the bullshit now. So you guys got to pay attention to this, you know. And I just made a video on SGT so you can see how the con has joined up with another con from Fukushima, okay? I do Fukushima stories here on YouTube. So this guy, Kevin D. Blanche, very well known. He's ripped off a gentleman for over, well, we figured about $18,500. I have a piece of paper that shows a letter from the gentleman who unfortunately took his life over this scam. That's what's very sad about this. The guy ripped them off, and the gentleman passed away. He took his life here at Christmas. And the sad part is that this guy, Kevin Blanche, just totally tried to say that, first of all, the guy had never given him money. Number two, the guy wasn't even dead. I mean, outright lies. And to see SGT becoming part of this, it does not surprise me. That's the point of the video. That's the point of the Silver Gold Man, is so people can figure out the bullshit that's going on. Okay, so back to this clown here again, because one of the things I've said is how the ass clowns all hang out together. Okay, so pay attention in the comments. You'll notice that a lot of these people do not come and comment. And for one thing, like Jonah, I've actually banned Jonah because I believe now he's part of the corruption club. When he won't speak out against flat out scammers and thieves and robbers and liars, then I know that he's part of the bullshit. So if he wants to contact me, he can meet me at connectingdots1.com. But let's go back down to the juice here, because this is where it gets interesting. Okay, so Ernie comes out. You can hit the space bar if you want to read this, but basically he comes out and covers up some of the story that was related in the video up above. And then it goes on, you know, blah, 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 and all the idiots. So it turns out, you know, you got to check out who these people are, because, you know, this is what I found out. It's a small world here on YouTube. And if you've never heard of this guy, it doesn't surprise me. And then I saw the A. I'm like, okay, showing us he's a Freemason with his little all-seeing eye there. Bullshit. I mean, this is one of the big things these people do. They do show their true colors. You just got to know what to look for. He's also shown on ChillyDShow, Don Harold. Okay, that's who owns this. He went and hit his face, but it's Don Harold. So 2 weeks ago, this guy, the Apple trader, was on there, and oddly enough, if you go watch that video, he talks about the same thing that I do, except I'm not calling gold down to 800. I said 925, 975 being the low, with the silver at $12, and 10 to 980 with a stock market crash in the end of summer, and I'm sticking with that. That's still my call. But oddly enough, here he is out here calling the same thing as me. So what's important is that you keep track of who these people are and how they interject and how they interconnect. So I'm not going to go over all these people that he has on his channel. So there's Chili D, Silver Futurist. I don't know that gentleman. I know about him. That's another time. And Investors Underground. I'm like, whoa, okay, so you're promoting these pro traders, Investors Underground. So either Ernie's stupid, or he's just, you know, is he playing another Silver Futurist where they're just both dumb and don't know what's going on, or plain dumb? This is where I realize I think some of these guys aren't that bright. I'm just exceptionally talented at connecting dots and figuring out who the bullshit are. So Investors Underground here and all that gang, it's like it is truly a gang. This is what you have to learn. It's the same thing on YouTube. They're out on Twitter. Once you get to know who these people are and how they all interconnect, and how it's interesting how Nathan is charging hundreds of dollars for people to join up in these active chat rooms where he gives out these calls on these different stocks, you know, every day. So it's very, very interesting, because if you do a little bit of research on this, then you realize, like, holy shit, the guy was charged with what? Yeah, that's right, a pump and a dump. So if you've got yourself a chat room where people are paying hundreds of dollars, and I'm talking $200 to $300 a month this guy charges to sit in there for him to give you a call, and coincidentally he's hooked up with a broker, an offshore broker, that's where I'm like really start shaking my head. I'm like, why are you connected with SureTrader? Seriously, Nathan. And I can't ask him anymore. Nathan has banned me, just like Tim Sykes has. As soon as I start asking these people tough questions on Twitter, they immediately went for the ban and block. It's the same thing on YouTube. It's the same circle jerk. It's up to you people to do your research. I'll leave a link for this information so you guys can read it up yourself. And this is right off someone, another trader, Michael Good. He wrote up on it. And you know, really, it comes down to this part here, okay? Right there. By consenting to the settlement, Michael neither confirmed nor denied wrongdoing. How convenient. So you can't, you know, we can't say, all you can say he was charged with it and paid a fine. Yeah, but no fraud charges. Unbelievable. So he's back at business as usual. And one of the things I found sad is how they promote a lot of these young men here and the winnings that they make. Well, the odd thing is they don't give you the whole insight how much money was actually traded. But what I like is the fact that I'm teaching myself how to trade, and turns out the same stocks that I'm trading, paper trading, and winning at are the same stocks that these young millionaires are doing. So I have very great faith, and that's why I've been saying in the past videos, things are changing my way. So I got to give a heads up here. A great job on this guy here. We report you to the IRS for you. Unfortunately, he doesn't know who the IRS are, controlled by offshore bankers, but at least he's doing his job on tracking who some of these people are and how they try to hide their identities. I mean, right down to Gregg owning a broker, Centerpoint, and he even tried to change it. They did change the information, but it doesn't matter. This guy nailed it. So, and he's even on Wikipedia. Remember I told you how Wikipedia is corrupt? An average person can't get on there, but they will promote that scam club. I imagine they're all Freemasons. And look there you go, hooked up with Timothy Sykes, another guy who banned me. So what got me really frightened with all of this is when it all came back to these people here, because I wanted to question them on some of the stuff here, and they banned me. Son of a bitch, isn't that convenient for these people to always ban you when you want to ask them a tough question? So I said, hey, your pledge donations, where's the money going? They wouldn't answer, so instead they banned me. So it turns out here the pledge donations from each pledge drive will be allocated for one organization that qualifies as tax exempt under section 501c3 of the code, such as, so that doesn't mean it's them, it just means such as, St. Jude's Children's Hospital, or for multiple charitable organizations dedicated to a particular mission, such as relieving illness. Okay? That's all it is. They won't tell you who it is. And when I will scroll down and I see the people that are connected with this, I'm like, what the hell is going on here? What the hell? What's going on? I don't know. All I know is, yeah, girl, they banned me, they'll block me, so I don't know what's going on either. So you know something, Michelle, please contact me so maybe we can get this cleared up, because I don't like this kind of bullshit, okay? It makes you guys look very guilty. Okay, so as far as someone was asking me who the ruler of the world is and who controls the assets, well, there you go. He also, he's the Queen's financial advisor, okay? So forget about JP Morgan. Every time you see JP Morgan, I just want you to think this, okay? JP Morgan equals him, okay? Forget about all the other bullshit. This is him. I wonder who's going to win the election after you see that picture. Anyways, long story short, this is where you folks are going to get the truth. It's at connectingdots1.com. I strongly advise you to join up here. And if you haven't seen it yet, it's time to wake up and find out who's controlling you.